Hello, I'm Susan Smith Nash, and you're listening to eLearning Corgi. And I'm really happy to have the opportunity to share with you what I believe to be a structural approach to writing. And in that, I want to talk about the Thesis Statement Map. You say, map? Why map? Well, okay, I admit that probably my approach is informed by the fact that I'm also a geologist, as well as having many years experience in writing instruction with a master's and Ph.D. in English. But I just find that the easiest way to really clarify your own mind and create a map for yourself that really makes it easy to write and also for your reader to understand is to think about the thesis statement as having elements in that one sentence that map to the other parts of your essay. So let's take a look. Okay, so just here's a photo I took at RetroCon 2025 in Houston. Anyway, a good thesis statement maps to the sections of the essay or research paper in a very clear way. So the thesis statement basically prepares the reader's mind for any additional information about the subject itself. And that can be in the form of background, definitions, context, and then that thesis statement secondarily prepares the reader's mind for the topics and the sections. So if it's an essay, those would be body paragraphs. If it's a research paper, those would be sections. And ideally, you'll have headings to let your reader know where you are. And then in those sections, you'll have evidence. And in that, you'll have statistics, examples, illustrative scenes, personal experience, or other types of support for the primary thesis. So here's what it looks like. So first of all, you have your thesis statement. What is your rhetorical goal? You'll put that first and foremost. And then after you have your rhetorical goal, you will list your key topics and map to your sections. So for an example, you could say, women become homeless primarily through 3 different areas or precipitating factors: domestic violence, comma, substance abuse, comma, and economic shock, often in the form of divorce or job loss. So that's a little bit wordy, but you get the idea. So that would be basically your cause and effect type of essay. So those are pretty easy because you can say, okay, I'm looking at the reasons for this phenomenon that I'm seeing in the material world. Okay, so after you do that, and you're saying, okay, I'm going to investigate the reasons why women become homeless, what you need to do after that is to have an area that has background, context, definitions. So everything you can put down statistics, just an overview, why the situation is urgent, why you should pay attention. But then if you really want to keep the reader's interest, make sure that you understand your audience and then try to connect to the reader's own experience and knowledge. And then flow to the topics. And the reason you'll have backgrounds, context, and if necessary, definitions. So, for example, in homeless literature, you might see the acronym or the initial HFA. Like, what does that mean? Or HF. Like, that means housing first. Okay, well, if that's a good thing to define in this context and definitions. Why? Because if you don't do it up front, you're going to have one confused reader going throughout. So in topic 1, and I'm just going to assume this is a research paper. So let's say this is a section, use a heading, and then lead with a topic sentence. That topic sentence ties back to your thesis statement, and it should be mapped back. So it should be that first. So like in the case of women and domestic violence, the causative factors being domestic violence or intimate partner violence. Okay, start that. That's your first one. That's topic 1, tie back. And then follow up with statistics or history, examples, personal experience, lab or field results. It's all good. Okay, and the second on the topic 2, you're saying, okay, the second reason is substance abuse. So topic 2 would be substance abuse, and then you would leave with that topic sentence, a major contributing factor or precipitating reason for women's homelessness is substance abuse. And you can actually expand that and say substance abuse and mental illness or mental illness, schizophrenia, depression, on and on, even postpartum depression. Okay, then you follow up with statistics or history, examples, personal experience, lab or field results. If you're going to use the results of interviews or field results in the case of human subjects, and you're publishing a research paper or something that's going to be published, make sure that you get IRB clearance. But if you're not planning to do any kind of publication or anything like that, I don't think you have to worry, but you can't really go back in time. So if you ever want to publish any part of this, get IRB, Institutional Research Board approval. And then finally, topic 3. In this case, we say a causative factor for women's homelessness is economic shock, which could be divorce or job loss. Or in some cases, and this is sad, but it happens, elder abuse, being ripped off by relatives or some other person, con artists, scam artists, super sad. Okay, so then again, use a heading, lead with topic sentence, then put in statistics, history, examples, personal experience, but case studies are great. Okay, so after that, have a synthesizing discussion that brings all 3 topics together and kind of says, okay, this is what we see when we think about all these together. And then finally, conclusions and recommendations. So again, just to recap on the discussion section, that's after your body sections or paragraphs. This is where you synthesize ideas, you point out connections, you might propose or acknowledge a counter argument, and then include thoughts from others. And then finally is your conclusion. Here's another, okay, so just to go back, I just wanted to point out, I took this photograph of the 11th Street Bridge in Tulsa, but this was a retro motor court neon sign that was rescued and then put together with a couple of other ones. And it's just, I just love it. It's just amazing. It's especially nice at dusk. Okay, the conclusion, again, with this retro com graphic that I took a picture of. In your conclusion, you bring together the thesis and the topics, you highlight new insights, and discuss implications of what you found. So, like in the case of women becoming homeless due to intimate partner violence, due to substance abuse or mental illness, due to economic shocks, due to job loss or divorce, you might even weight them or say which ones seem to be most prevalent in which age group, especially like say the scamming of older women. That's primarily for older demographics. What is the case? What's the primary reason for young women. And then just make suggestions for further study, for community action, for personal action, and some maybe overarching observations about the culture in general. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your attention. And if you have any questions, contact me. And thank you.